Your dog is staring at a blank wall, completely still, ears locked forward, eyes fixed on something in the corner that is not there. You look at the same spot. Nothing. You call their name. They do not move. And you tell yourself, they're just being weird again. But what if the room is not actually empty? What if your dog is not reacting to nothing, but to something your senses were simply never built to detect? Here is the truth most people never stop to consider. Humans see the surface of the world. Dogs live inside the details beneath it. They hear what we miss. They smell what we hide. They sense forces that have no name in human experience. So today we are looking at 9 strange things your dog can see, hear, and sense that you probably cannot. And the last one may finally explain why your dog sometimes seems to know something before you do. 1. Colors you were told they cannot see. For decades, the popular belief was simple. Dogs see in black and white. It was wrong. Dogs are dichromats. They have 2 types of color-sensing cells compared to the 3 humans have. This means they do not see the full spectrum we do, but they absolutely see color, specifically blue and yellow. What they struggle to see clearly is red, that red ball you threw onto the green grass. To your dog, it has nearly disappeared into the background. The colors blend, the ball vanishes. But here is the part that surprises most people. Dogs can see ultraviolet light. Research led by vision scientist Jay Knights at the University of Washington found that dogs have photoreceptors sensitive to wavelengths that fall entirely outside human perception. The UV range, completely invisible to us, is a visible part of your dog's world. What does this mean in practice? Certain flowers, certain animals, certain surfaces that appear completely plain and uniform to you carry patterns, markings, and information in the UV spectrum that your dog can read clearly. That blank wall your dog keeps staring at? To their eyes, it may not be blank at all. 2 sounds from electronics you cannot hear. Your television is off. The house is completely quiet. Your dog is staring at the screen. To you, silence. To your dog, noise. The human ear hears sounds up to roughly 20,000 hertz. A dog's hearing extends to around 65,000 hertz, well into the ultrasonic range. This means right now, in your quiet house, your dog can hear things you simply cannot. The high-frequency hum of your television in standby mode. The whine of your computer monitor. The flicker of LED lights cycling at frequencies your ears were never built to register. But it goes further than that. Dogs can also hear sounds from distances 4 times greater than humans. And they can pinpoint the exact source of a sound using ears that move independently, rotating like small satellites to triangulate precisely where something is coming from. A fixed human ear cannot do that. So when your dog sits alert in a silent room, staring at something you cannot see or hear, consider this. Silent is a human category. Your dog is not reacting to nothing. They may be listening to an entire layer of sound that has simply never existed within your perceptual range. The room is not quiet, you just cannot hear what is in it. 3. The early signals of a storm long before you feel them. You had no idea the storm was coming. Your dog did. Hours before the first cloud appeared, the pacing started, the restlessness, the refusal to settle in any spot for more than a few seconds. You looked out the window and saw a perfectly clear sky, but your dog was already reading a storm. 3 separate systems were firing at once. First, pressure. Dogs can detect the drop in barometric pressure that precedes a storm, that invisible atmospheric shift that weather instruments measure. Your dog's body feels it directly. Second, sound. Dogs can hear infrasonic thunder, low-frequency sound waves that travel far ahead of the actual storm, sitting entirely below the threshold of human hearing. By the time you hear the first rumble, your dog heard it hours ago. Third, smell. The air before a storm carries a specific chemical signature: rising humidity, the electrical charge building before lightning, the particular scent of rain approaching from miles away. Your dog is not anxious without reason. They are receiving accurate, real information about an incoming event through 3 separate sensory channels simultaneously that your body simply cannot access. By the time you notice the sky changing, your dog has known for hours. 4. The magnetic field of the Earth. This one is the strangest of all, and it is real. A study published in the journal Frontiers in Zoology observed dogs across multiple breeds over an extended period of time. The findings were unexpected. Dogs showed a measurable preference for aligning their body along the Earth's north-south magnetic axis during certain behaviors, and that preference disappeared during periods of magnetic field instability. This means one thing clearly: dogs have some form of magnetoreception. The same invisible force that guides migratory birds across entire continents, navigating thousands of miles without a map, appears to register in some form inside the canine nervous system. You cannot feel it. Most humans never even think about it. The Earth's magnetic field is simply not part of our sensory experience, but for your dog, it may be a quiet, constant presence. A directional signal running beneath everything else they experience. What your dog actually feels when they detect this, whether it is a sensation, a pull, something they are consciously aware of, or simply something their body responds to automatically, science is still working to fully understand, but the sensitivity is there. So the next time your dog pauses before lying down, turns slowly, adjusts their position one more time, they may not just be getting comfortable. They may be finding north. 5. The sound of your return before you reach the street. You think you are being quiet. You parked around the corner. You have not opened the door. You have not even reached the street yet. Your dog already knows you are coming. This is not instinct. This is not a 6th sense. This is the 5th one. Working at a range so far beyond yours, it can feel supernatural. Dogs can hear sounds at distances 4 times greater than humans. But it goes beyond simple distance. Your dog has spent months, possibly years, building an acoustic profile of you specifically. The particular frequency of your car engine among every other car on the street. The specific rhythm of your footsteps on pavement. The way your keys sound shifting in your pocket before they ever reach the lock. These are not general sounds. They are your sounds. And your dog has memorized every one of them. Their ears move independently, rotating like 2 small satellites, triangulating the source of a sound with a precision a fixed human ear simply cannot replicate. So when your dog runs to the door before you arrive, it is not magic. It is a dog who has been quietly memorizing the sound of you for as long as they have known you. And the moment they hear it, the whole body knows you are almost home. 6. Chemical changes in your body when your emotions shift. You have not said anything. You are sitting completely still. Nothing about you looks different from the outside, but your dog has quietly moved closer. They already know. Emotional states produce real, measurable chemical changes inside the human body. Fear triggers adrenaline. Stress elevates cortisol. Grief, anxiety, excitement, each one shifts your body chemistry in ways that are completely imperceptible to other humans, but not to a dog. Your dog's nose contains up to 300 million olfactory receptors. You have around 6 million. That is not a small difference. That is a completely different instrument operating at a completely different level of sensitivity. Your dog does not read your face first. They do not watch your body language first. They read the air around you. The invisible chemical broadcast your body sends out without your knowledge, without your permission, before you have said a word, before you have moved a muscle, before you have even fully identified what you are feeling yourself. This is why your dog moves closer when you are sad before you show it. Why they rest their head on your lap during anxiety you have not spoken aloud. Why they seem to feel what you feel, almost at the same moment you feel it. They are not reading your mind, they are reading your chemistry. 7. The specific scent of illness. This goes further than emotion, much further. Trained dogs have been documented detecting early-stage cancers, diabetic episodes before they become dangerous, oncoming epileptic seizures with enough warning time to keep someone safe, through scent alone. The biological changes associated with these conditions alter the chemical signature of a person's breath, skin, and body in ways far too subtle for any human to detect, but not too subtle for a dog. Research conducted by teams including scientists at the Penn Vet Working Dog Center has demonstrated detection accuracy rates in cancer scent trials that rival, and in some cases exceed, clinical screening methods. Your dog does not understand what cancer is. They have no concept of illness, diagnosis, or medicine. But their nose can find the molecular signature of it. And some owners have reported something that stopped them completely. Their dog becoming fixated on one specific part of their body, returning to the same spot, sniffing, licking, coming back again and again, only to discover, later, a medical condition at that exact location. The dog was not being strange. The dog was not being obsessive. The dog was trying to tell them something. They are not psychic. They are just working with a sensory instrument you do not have. 8 ultrasonic sounds from animals and insects. The garden is completely still. No wind, no movement, no sound you can detect. Your dog is frozen at the hedge, body rigid, eyes locked, ears forward. Every muscle focused on something inside that bush that, to you, does not exist. But it does exist. Mice, rats, and certain insects communicate and move using frequencies in the ultrasonic range, sounds sitting entirely above the ceiling of human hearing, but well within your dog's detection range. What appears to you as a perfectly still, perfectly silent garden may be a busy acoustic environment to your dog, full of movement, full of information, full of tiny creatures broadcasting their location, their communication, their existence, at frequencies your ears were simply never designed to receive. This is why dogs track things you cannot see, why they dig at spots that look completely empty, why they stand completely rigid staring at a bush, a wall, a patch of ground, while you see absolutely nothing worth their attention. They are not confused. They are not imagining things. They are hunting with their ears, in a frequency range you have never had access to, following sounds that have always been there, surrounding you every single day, in a layer of the world you did not know existed. 9. The specific visual movement of very fast things. Your dog snaps at something in the air. You see nothing. They track something moving across the room with focused, precise eyes, and you cannot find what they are following no matter how hard you look. You assume they are imagining things. They are not. Dogs process visual information faster than humans do. The measurement for this is called the flicker fusion rate, the speed at which the brain processes individual frames of moving visual information. A higher flicker fusion rate means the ability to distinguish motion that appears as nothing more than a blur to slower eyes. Your dog's flicker fusion rate is higher than yours. This means they can see movement you cannot resolve. A flying insect moving at speed, The precise arc of something small crossing the room. Motion happening faster than your visual system was built to process. This is also why old standard television screens appeared to dogs as a flickering strobe. Their visual system was processing each individual frame that human eyes blended into smooth motion. Modern screens with higher refresh rates are better, but the gap is still there. So when your dog snaps at invisible things, tracks movements you cannot follow, or stares at something crossing the ceiling, the nothing was moving. Your dog saw it clearly. You just could not keep up. Closing and key lesson. So the next time your dog stares at a blank wall, do not assume the wall is blank. The next time they freeze at a silent hedge, the hedge is not silent. The next time they pace before a storm you cannot feel, the storm is already real to them. The next time they move closer without a reason you can see, the reason is chemical, invisible, and completely beyond your perception. Your dog is not living in a simpler version of the world you inhabit. They are living in a version that is broader, more layered, tuned to frequencies, forces, and chemical signals that have no name in human experience. Ultraviolet light you cannot see, sounds above and below your hearing range, atmospheric pressure shifts your body cannot feel, a magnetic field your nervous system does not register, chemical broadcasts from emotions you have not yet expressed, the molecular signature of illness forming in a body, ultrasonic conversations between creatures in your own garden, motion happening faster than your eyes can follow. All of it real, all of it happening, all of it received by your dog, every single day. So every time they seem to react to nothing, ask yourself what nothing actually means, because from where your dog is standing, the answer is almost never nothing at all.